Okay, I'm out here wiping down my car. And while wiping down my car, I got to thinking about some things. You know, sometimes when you're doing an activity like cleaning a car or taking a walk, you begin to think of things that you would want to say or do, or who knows, whatever. I got me a Starbucks coffee back here somewhere. Let's see now, where did I put it? Ah, here it is, right here. I got me a Starbucks coffee. Stopped at Starbucks. I got multiple gift cards for Christmas. And here it is March the 20th, and I'm still using my gift cards for Christmas. The kids are told that if you're going to get me they're told if you're going to get your dad something for Christmas, get him a gift card, a Starbucks gift card. So anyhow, I'm going to pick up this cloth right here. I want to continue to wipe down the car and talk a little bit here. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm wiping down this car here. It's got pollen all over it. You know, if you live in North Carolina, you're going to get a lot of pollen on your car. That's just the nature of this time of year. So I've been thinking lately about how my wife and I, which I just rolled the phone over there, how my wife and I decided when it was time to retire. When I was going on about 60, well, I was past 67, and we were talking about it all the time, about retiring. And so we put together a plan. And I'm sorry about the lighting on this because I'm in my garage wiping down my car, but we put together a plan on how we could retire and, you know, live a reasonable lifestyle on a much smaller income than what we had. I was a professional salesperson, and my wife was a professional nurse. Don't want any unprofessionals in the nursing profession. And so we had to make some real decisions. How were we going to live on, how would we be living on a smaller income? As you can see, I'm wiping the windshield down here. And this is the back of the car, by the way. It's a Toyota Venza. How could we live on that smaller income? So we had to put a plan together. And I'll give you a couple of points of the plan. The first thing that we realized was that, you know, our income would obviously go down if we retired, if we stopped working our jobs. And so, it's starting to look pretty clean there. So we knew that we were going to have to have a house that was paid for. Have a house that was paid for. That was part of our plan. And so we knew we were going to have to do that. I'm moving to the front of the car now. We knew we'd have to have a house that was paid for. Let me stretch this thing out a little further so it's not so bad. I started this YouTube channel January 1 of this year, and as you can see, I'm still learning. But we had to have a house that was paid for. That was the most important thing, because we knew that once we retired, we wouldn't be able to make house payments. House payments nowadays, we just knew it wouldn't work. We had to get out of those house payments. So and it wasn't that hard for us to do. Now, it may be harder for others to do, but we had a house in Raleigh that had a 30-year mortgage on it, and we paid it off in 17 years. We paid it off early. So on that house, we were sitting in 100% equity. So we decided to buy a house in another location, in another city, where we're living at now. And we took the money from the house in Raleigh and used that to buy the house in Wilson, and because of that we were able to pay cash. We made the one payment plan, and the one payment plan worked out really good for us, because we bought this house and we don't have any house payment. So it's very important if you're getting ready to retire that you do not have a house payment. Now, if you're a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, this advice won't do you any good. But if you're just kind of an average working guy like me, whoops, I don't know if I'm average or not, but if you're kind of an average working guy like me, not having a house payment in retirement is incredibly important. Let's see now, where was I on cleaning this car? So that was one thing, was we had to have financial freedom and no house payment. And the other thing that we wanted to do was make sure we had no monthly payments above our living expenses. So we made sure that we have no car payments. The cars that we had when we retired were all paid for. We made sure that everything was paid for. No credit card debt. Just no debt at all when we retired. And like I say, we were able to pay our house off because we sold the first house and retired into this particular house here. And I'm in the garage right now. Let me get that cloth so I can wash the other side of the car. So anyhow, my suggestion is that if you're thinking about retiring, probably the biggest hurdle that you have to overcome is that monthly budget that you'll have when you retire. And you want to have a budget so that you can retire and still enjoy life. Let me get over here, start washing this car. That you can enjoy life and not worry about things like gas and groceries and utilities and property tax and all the good stuff that goes along with retiring. And excuse me here. So what we did was, one of the things that we did, some of this stuff doesn't want to come off. One of the things that we did was we established a monthly budget so that we would know each month how much our expenses were going to be and how much we would have to spend on, groceries, entertainment, whatever the thing was. So number 2 in your plans for retirement is you must have a written budget. You must know where the money is going. Number 1 was be debt free. That's actually number 1, be debt free. Number 2 is have a monthly budget and stick to it. So if you have allowed in your budget, let's say in your budget you have allowed $500 for groceries. And $500 for groceries for 2 people is a substantial amount. We seem to stay within that. So once you have that budget set, if you allow $500 for groceries, then you want to make sure you don't spend more than $500 for groceries. You want to stay within that limit. And you figure out how much you're going to allow yourself for entertainment, for going out to lunch, or how much you're going to give to your church. You work out a budget. And once you have that budget worked out, you live within that budget. And of course, that budget has got to be based on your retirement income. Now, I will tell you that when we first retired, we retired, of course, with the Social Security, and we were determined to work within the Social Security budget. In other words, the amount of money we got from Social Security each month, that was going to be our budget. We're going to work on that amount. And so we did. And it worked out pretty good. So you want to have a house, cars, have everything paid for, be debt free. Then, there's my car, it's starting to look better. Then you want to have a budget and live within that budget. And of course you need to know how much your income's going to be, and you need to be able to stay within that budget and within that income during the course of your retirement. So have the house be paid for, no car payments, be debt free, live within a budget. Now, those are the first 2 things. Now, the next thing is you have to understand that once you retire, because this was an obstacle for us to overcome, that once you retire, you're going to have to live with that. You're going to have to live with that person that you've been married to for all these years, and you're going to have to learn that person. When my wife and I were both working, she would be coming home while I was going to work, or I'd be going to work while she was coming home. And so one of the things you've got to learn to do in retirement is you have to get to know your spouse. And the first several months that we were retired, it's like, oh no, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? All right. And so you want to make sure that you keep on loving your spouse. You don't want to get tired of your spouse just because you're in the same house together all the time. Okay, so your house is paid for, your cars are paid for, you're living on a budget, and let's say that you want to go on a trip. Work it into your budget. We have a set amount that we spend on each item each month, and believe it or not, each month, even though we're both not working and we're both retired, we are able to save money every month. We save up that money, which actually turns out to be a fairly good amount, and we take that savings and we use it for trips. We just recently got back from Texas, was there for 10 nights, I think, 11 days. Oh, it's 9 nights and 11 days, whatever. And then sometime real soon, we've already planned it out and we've already saved up for it. We're going to make a trip to Florida. So you can do these things. We did a cruise not long after we were retired. But if you'll budget for those things and plan for those things, retirement life can actually be enjoyable. Now, some of the other things that my wife and do is we take walks. Yesterday we went out and walked about 2 miles. Today I went to lunch with some friends at church, a bunch of old geezers. And then my wife went to lunch with some ladies at the church. So we had, we were each at lunch at a different location with different friends. So being retired can have some real advantages because you can have those lunches and you can have that time away from each other, and you can really enjoy each other's company when you get back together. So you got to learn to love your spouse. Over the years, especially when I was working, I would meet so many retired people. When I was in the remodeling business, I would go to homes and do interviews with homeowners, and I'd meet so many retired people that were very unhappy with their spouse. They wouldn't even hardly speak to each other while we were talking about whatever remodeling or updating we were going to do to the house. They wouldn't hardly speak to each other. We don't want to be like that. We want to maintain a good relationship. We want to be happy. We want to really, really enjoy our time together. So these are just a few tips on how to get ready for retirement. And, don't have any debt, have a house paid for, have your cars paid for, don't have any credit card debt, have a budget, save some money each month, go out to eat once in a while, enjoy life, take a vacation once in a while, enjoy life. You want to work to make sure that your retirement years are really, really good. My wife and I both each have some small health problems, but we work around those. And we try very hard to remain healthy and stay healthy. We're both going to be 76 this year, and we're really enjoying life. I hope these tips were helpful. I did get my car fairly clean, so thanks for watching while I was cleaning the car. And let's see, now I'm going to shut it off, and we'll see you next time.